Welcome back to part 2 of 3. Smoke pours out of the Wisdom's cigarette. Several months ago, a group of raiders came from the east. It was taller than a normal human. His skin was unnatural, gray, tight. There was something wrong with him. His people were brutal, vicious. Yeah, nothing like coughing in the middle of the important.
It's because she's a smoker.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's a
cigarette.
They brought with them the beasts you saw before, 4 panthers. There was one among them who could speak to them, whisper to them. I can speak to some things of nature, but control them like that man did, it's literally unnatural. They told us we had to pay, so we did. We gave them what silver we had, and food, and they left. The next week they came back and they demanded pay. We had nothing left for our taxes, for the empire. They demanded we pay in people. For every week we have been sending them a strong, young, do work for them. I don't know what they're doing for the Bandit King of the Western Wastes, but they don't come back. We asked for help, and they killed the messenger. We sent a letter by Al, and it did not come back. I have prayed, and nothing has answered. And then you came. We have a little bit of money. All of it is yours if you want it. But what we want are our sons and daughters back. They have been taken.
Do you know to where?
She takes a moment to squeeze her eyes, maybe wipe away a little something, and then she gestures. The gesture is meaningless. I mean, you have those of you that have dark vision, but you know, she points in a general direction and you see nothing but the blare of torchlight and then nothing. And she says, in the Western Wastes, I can draw you a map in the ground, but there is a fallen, forgotten fortress. I believe they have taken them there. It's the only place I can think one might live out here.
Would the Panthers have come from there?
Panthers are not native to this region.
I'm just saying I could track them if that would help us find the fortress.
I only see 2 panther corpses, so the other 2 may have escaped. If you say that you have keen enough eye to follow the tracks, then you will know better than I where they lead. Yes, I understand now what it is you ask. The Panthers are with their masters, I believe.
This is an older lady, right?
Yes.
Okay. Godric is like really I feel like he's really torn by what she's saying. And I think without waiting to hear even if the others are going to help, he would go ahead and let her know, like, Like I can't make any promises, but I will see what I can do to help your villages.
Are your people nomadic?
The 3 villages, we are newly settled. After the start of the war, the Empire allowed us to resettle here. Thanking the grace of the gods, we carved out a life for ourselves here over the last 20 years.
20 years. Well,
Godric,
It's simple.
she gestures for you to come closer to her.
me.
For Godric?
Yeah, Godric. Because you've agreed to help her.
Yeah.
She takes her holy symbol off of her scarf, her like silk station of office, and kisses it and presses it to your forehead and says, there are things in this world
as she
without
brings
name.
it closer to Godric's head,
Yeah.
Godric's going to put his hand up and be like, no.
Once you've made
none of
contact
that.
with it, she just keeps going. It's like, it's someone who's trying to give you a casserole dish you don't want.
You're getting blessed whether you want it or not.
There are things in this world without name. Do you name the wind? When you cup water in your hands, do you name the sea? There is a God of such things. And I ask that she blesses you, for you help us when no other will. What is your name?
My name is Godric.
I thank you, Godric.
I pull out like a
thank me
small,
yet.
similar wooden holy symbol. I grew up with a circle of druids in the Great Western Forest, and we simply called her the Mother. I think something similar.
There are many names
But of
for many
course,
things.
So I sort of like hold up my holy symbol as well. I'm certainly, I think that I don't think any of us are saying no to this. I think we're all happy to do this.
You say that, but she looks at Tanira, who so far has agreed that she is only a traveler.
I'm gonna pull out like a little wooden deer that I've carved. Me next.
You want her to bless your deer?
Yeah.
She absolutely will bless your deer. What's the level of craftsmanship on this deer? What are we talking about?
It's pretty. I mean, I took carpentry.
Oh,
as one of
background?
my-
Yeah, all right.
background.
You're the artist. You talk to me about how big this thing is and like what kind of style we're looking at.
It's probably about 3 inches by 3 inches. Super simple, shaped based. There's little holes in the top for kind of like the pattern of the deer pelt. And then just some small nubs for the horns.
She takes the deer from you, cups it in her hands, and whispers to it, and hands it back to you.
See, I can do it too.
I think I get like nuzzled by the dragon. Like, oh, could you bless Sparky too?
She appears to hold a conversation with Sparky, and she bows her head, and the dragon lowers its nose to bonk her on the forehead.
Oh,
She
isn't that
gets
lovely?
booped.
You can understand him.
I can understand many things that walk on this terrestrial lands. It
Apparently
has
not
offered to
Panthers.
bless me.
Oh, I really thought it was this baby talk. I've been like baby talking back. I feel like an idiot now.
This is a dragon. It is a creature of pure magic, a bringer of balance and change.
And you
It does
talk to
not
it like
speak
the
baby talk. It speaks the ancient draconian tongue.
Sorry, it's just he's only so young.
Dragons are born with an innate knowledge of the world around them.
Okay, well, I'm I'm looking for some. Sorry, I thought they're sky knights
Imperial
or something. Is that
Sky
right?
Knights,
Or the okay? Yeah, I was sent this way looking for sky knights because I thought they might know more about dragons. But if you know more, then maybe when we get back from these bandits, you can tell me some more.
If you seek Sky Knights, you are not far from them. The Empire maintains an outpost above the nearby dwarf hold, the Thag. We call it Mechanicsburg. If you are seeking the Forgotten Fortress to the east of here, it is on your path to Mechanicsburg. There you can negotiate with the dwarves for transit to the Sky Knights. I know a little about dragons, but I suspect that those who hunt them may know quite a bit more.
All right. Well, I just have one request of everybody. Can we go in the morning because I can't see in the dark?
Good night's rest is always a wise idea. And
Yes.
yeah,
I'd much
If we
like to see the city.
if we travel
I'd
during
prefer if the people I'm fighting with can see what they're doing.
So they've taken your children, have they?
Yes.
It's good enough for me.
Those around you basically agree to set up a watch to let exhausted travelers who just put their lives on the line to defeat the evil tithing panthers of the bandits, to let them have a little rest. Does anyone stay up to keep a watch? Otherwise, that tent they set up is for you. At least it'll keep you sheltered and dry.
I'm not staying up.
I think Godric stays up a little bit at first, just using whatever food provisions they gave us to try to cook something before like going to bed. But he stays up probably a good like maybe 2 or 3 hours longer than anyone else.
You got your onions, you got your garlics, both wild varieties, some other wild dry herbs. You got your hard breads. You got old cheeses, fresh milk, a little bit of salt. Man, sitting here doing some calculations. In the morning, you could get some eggs.
I'd say with what he's got, he could make either like if he had access to potatoes, maybe like a potato soup. If not, then an onion soup.
Onion soup? Very well. You start an onion soup to go overnight. That boy Camp Rollins is so happy right now.
I do want to talk to the group away from any of the villages though as well at some point before we go to sleep.
James is like, now's my master plan. I'm actually with the bandits.
These people have lost everything to these bandits. Like I don't even know even if we stop these bandits, I don't think I can take their money. Maybe we just take what we can salvage from the bandits, and then, although I can't speak for any of you, but I'm just saying I don't want to take their money.
I'll take their money.
I think Godric chimes in that he's going to take their money, but it's not like he's going to take all of it. He's not greedy. He's going to take just enough that he can use it to buy provisions from them, and before heading back out onto the road.
And then I can take the rest. Perfect.
No. You take a share, and the rest of us decline.
If you don't
a
want
share.
it, I will.
They have nothing. The bandits will have plenty.
And they'll have nothing even if the bandits are alive.
Ah. Well, we disagree. But there's a good story in us no matter what. Just remember, I can overlook that part when I write it down.
I noticed you had a journal out earlier. Are you actually taking physical notes?
I do have some notes,
Amazing.
but it's half prop, half notes.
Works for me.
I can say from my experience jamming that there is nothing better than a player who takes notes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I also don't want to hear that from you, James. Not from you. Anyone but you. I've been taking notes for 3 seasons, and you still are like, every note you took is totally worthless. Godric,
Yes.
you are alone. Everyone else has, I wouldn't say sang, but maybe quietly chanted, talked together. They are asleep.
I sang the song of rest to lull us into wonderful slumber.
All others are asleep as you stir your wild onion soup. And you think about that time so long ago while I adjust the audio levels, because apparently the music's too. You recall a night much like this. There was no open sky. There was no panthers, no blood. Just you and a work order permitting you 20 meters down the southeastern line of Dig Site 47. Bring back all the orichalcum you can hold, and coal if you got it. Your hammer comes down, smash, smash, getting the big ones out of the way. The pick, pulling stuff out, the minecart loaded. When you turn at a surprise at a nearly transparent dwarf standing next to you.
I think when he first sees the apparition, his first instinct would be to think that it was another miner. So he starts saying, "Hey, you can't be down here." But halfway through that, he stops because the fact that it's translucent finally comes into focus.
He picks up your hammer when you do that. And he enters into a stance, and he brings it down mightily and splits a rock you've been working on for 20 minutes. Just done.
Okay, well, I guess I'm not hallucinating this.
He hands the hammer to you and does the same gesture.
Godric repeats it.
You do not have this stance. You don't have this physique.
Nope.
The ghost moves to correct your stance and then gestures angrily for you to do it again.
Before doing it again, I look at it and I'm like just questioning, like, is this real? And I don't know if there's a way to portray like disbelief on your face.
It slaps you in the face. You feel it. This dwarf looks at you and you see something. The eyes are not transparent when you look at them. They crackle with runes of power, ancient dwarven script. There are many ways for magic to flow in this world. The humans have some new thing called magicule. But for dwarves, they do not offer temporary magics. A wizard might cast a fireball and bring a window of magic for a brief instant to call fire into this world. But the dwarven runes hold that gateway open. The energy will continue to flow forever so long as that rune maintains it back. This is true magic, and you see that magic emanating from this thing's eyes as it stares at you.
Once Godric sees the runes and like sees the magic in it, he like tries to focus on what the ghost is showing him, and kind of mutters to it like, "All right, show me what you got," as he like retightens his grip on the hammer.
All right,
like
he picks up your pick and basically starts teaching you like basic hammer self-defense, swapping weapons and showing you it again from the opposite side.
Yeah, Godric is like, at this point, this thing has like Godric's undivided attention. Like Godric is absolutely focused on learning whatever it is this thing is trying to teach.
You turn as someone slams a hammer against a shield and says, "Oi, Godric! Where the fuck are you? Your minecart's not even half full! What are you doing, boy? Jeez Louise! You think we're gonna be able to fill the quota working like that? You playing with your hammer by yourself? Little Godric down here? Several of your relatives begin laughing as well, chuckling about little Godric and his hammer playing alone in the mine shaft. You turn. Your pick is on the ground. You're holding the hammer and there's no one here.
I would shout back to them that I'm not so little anymore. I'm actually like, I think Godric's actually pretty tall for a dwarf. But at being like kind of chided like that, he turns and just kind of like he begins to resume his work, but before the first strike, he just kind of stops halfway and looks back at the pick, and he's like, just questioning if this was real.
Tanira,
Yeah.
you dream, as you do every night, of fire. It starts the same way. Your home, engulfed in a torrent of flame. You're a carpenter. You know wood. You know what it takes for wood to catch fire. This is more than just a simple accident. This is more than oil spilled. Someone wanted this house to burn to the ground. It was accelerated. You see 2 mound stones. You look down, they were dug with your own hands, fresh grave dirt. You look up, your village, covered in flame. Someone did this to you. This was a thing done. You're filled with the same anger and rage that you always have when you see this. And then you hear it. The same sound you've heard every night for weeks. A strange susurrus coming from the flames around you as they turn green and gray and blue. You think you can hear your name, Tanira, among them.
I wake up in a sweat, just yelling for a split second, and then I kind of figure out where I am again and see a big pot of stew being made and to walk over to it.
The chanting stops. You walk over to the stew. Someone is sitting there tending to it, but it is not Godric. It is a pit fiend from the deepest hells, and it turns towards you and it says, Tanira.
I get frightened and I back up immediately.
You turn when you slam into something. It's the abdomen of the pit fiend. He's behind you. Tanira.
Take a swing at him.
He easily catches your arm. What was done to you? You may be a criminal in life, but even you did not deserve what was done.
What are you?
I am justice. You have taken what was not yours. Justice for the dead. And I would have you. I require a servant. I have called to you for many nights, but now the divine channel is open. Blessings have been given, and I may speak directly. The fools. Tanira, you cannot escape justice. You have delivered it. And death does not discriminate.
What do you want from me?
Justice. Be my justice. You jerk awake. Godric is making a soup in the corner.
Just lay there for a moment.
You look at your hand. There's a mark where the pit fiend grabbed your fist. It slowly fades, but you could have sworn there was an infernal rune there from.
Fucking hell.
You hear a brief chuckle in your ears that slowly recedes. Okay, now we're gonna go to you, Lauren.
Okay.
Hey, does anyone need a minute after that? It was a little dark. I just want to make sure. Maybe
I
we
definitely
need
need
like
a little bit of a minute.
palate cleanser, like a little refresher, a little dish of vanilla between.
Yeah.
Get some water.
Okay, here we go.
Was that ginger that they give you at the Japanese restaurants?
Yeah, ginger. It's a good palate refresher. Absolutely. We find ourselves carried into the dreams and memories, perhaps both, in Leilarian or Thrond, the hidden valley, one of many of the elves far to the north, beyond the Empire, beyond the war. Here we find Rudra. He is a elf with a dark complexion, wearing only a open vest and loose pajama pants. There are 4 birds on his left arm and an octopus wrapped around his neck. Your father goes, "Ukta, where is my spear?" The octopus reaches to the wall and pulls the spear over and places it in his left hand, and he says, "Good. Gwynny, come here. I want to kiss you upon the forehead. You must have the blessings of nature. Yes, my darling girl. Do you have to do this? You have to go out into the world. There's so much here for you in the Hidden Valley. You could be a ranger like me. Look, am I not strong? Am I not a cool father?"
Father, you are, but you must understand that there's so many stories still to be told in the wider world, and the same stories day after day after day after day after day after day. Become tired. Or there must be something great. You can't have me sit here. I could be a ranger and I could patrol. I could work in the scriptorium and I could make countless copies and copies and copies of tales of your greatness and adventure and how wonderful a father you are.
Yes, I know. I stopped at least 2 orcish invasions.
Yes.
When you live to be my age, as elves do, you simply experience the nature of the world as it is. You go on adventures. Every elf trains in the sword and bow, just like I made sure you were. And he messes with your hair.
Train in the sword.
I know you do, Gwynny, but the books, they always get me. You take after your mother. Listen.
They have such wonderful things in them. Magic whisper.
You know what else has wonderful things in it? The world around you.
Well, and that is where I'm going, to see the world, but not just this little pocket.
I'm not going to rehab this argument with you. Elves of your decades always go on these little adventures, Gwynny. You'll be back after 2 or 3 decades. I just wish you had... I've been so many things in my life, you know? A diplomat, a healer... Now I've been a ranger, a warrior. Oh, the things I've done. We have a responsibility to continue to learn and change and grow.
Yes.
I just wish yours hadn't come so soon.
Oh, you're gonna miss me, is that it?
Go out to the garden. Yeah, tell your mother goodbye while the moon is still out so that she does not vanish.
All right. Goodbye, Father.
Goodbye, Gwynny. I'll see you in 3 decades or so.
Well, maybe 4. There's a lot to go see.
Don't push it, young lady. You leave the enormous tree mansion carved out of living wood. The tree shakes its limbs at you as if saying goodbye for a time. It makes a sound like a groan as it moves in a specific way. Dozens of your father's animal companions and friends escort you through the garden towards where your mother, Inlaya Laria, waits for the moon to reach its peak. She looks up. She is no wood elf like your father. She is fully of the moon tribes. Her skin pale, almost white, bone white, tall, lithe. She turns toward you, her silver hair shining. Blessed of the Canaan star, she holds out a unnaturally graceful limb toward you and says, "My daughter, Winnie, come. There is something I must tell you that I have seen in the portents."
Oh, well, do tell, mother, do tell.
She pulls you into a hug and she says, "I have seen that I will always love you no matter what you do."
Oh, I will do my best to ensure that that love is well earned and
She
never misplaced.
takes you out of the hug. And when you say misplaced, her eyes burn with moonfire as she begins her prophecy and says, "I have spoken with the diviners." Like wind begins. The trees nearby, the animals all bow down to her as some weird elven moon shit begins happening. They say that you must go to the south. There is much need in the Empire. Heroes require aid. Go and sing of their songs and complete your college essay. You must enter the College of Lore, Gwynny. You must enter the College of Lore. Her eyes go back in. It has been divined by the great elven oracles. Wherever you go, we shall send you letters, and probably to places that you aren't going as well. We're just going to, blanket the area with letters.
Fair enough.
You are my child. Nothing will ever change that. I know that you must wander the world. Your father is a fool, and he doesn't understand. I wish that you would stay, but I know that you cannot, because it is your destiny.
There are stories to find, to share, to tell, and to bring back home. I shall do that, and you shall always be in my heart, mother. And I shall look for the letters. Yes. The letters.
Go south with the blessings of the Canine Star. As you leave her glade, we see something in the dream that you did not see in this memory. As a single tear escapes her eye and says, "Shall be many moons before we meet again, my dearest Gwynny." All right, that one was a bit less than Tanira, but now we get to the comedy section.
Hey!
Citrix.
Yep.
There's an egg in front of you. It's almost as big as you are.
Oh, I'm checking this thing out. Looking at it from all angles.
It's got some sick marbling on the outside, like it might have some veins. It's solidly blue and scaly, actually.
Is it in some sort of nest or just lying on the ground?
Just lying on the ground in the middle of your range.
Okay. Does it look heavy?
It looks heavy.
Okay.
It's as big as you are.
Okay. I'll try. I'll test its weight.
It's super light. Easily can pick it up with your hand.
Okay. I'll probably wrap it in some cloth or something. It doesn't seem very safe out here.
When you're wrapping it with a cloth, you notice that the cloth has blood on it, and you've cut your hand on one of the scales of the egg and smeared blood on it without realizing.
Okay. I will just take it out of bandage and wrap my hand as well then as we go.
You walk your range. What are we looking at here?
I've gone further from, like, every sort of time I go out, I go further from the circle I'm used to. So, I've come across more ruins, things I hadn't seen before, and so I'm spending more and more days out from the circle, and it's getting outside of the forest now. Into some of maybe the plains or the lighter woods around the forest. So everything's quite new for Kithrick. She just stops to explore a lot as much as she does actually look for anything that needs to be dealt with. In fact, probably now I've got this egg, I'll probably find a place to camp for the night, somewhere to keep it safe, and I assume it needs to be warm as well. So I'll probably want to start a campfire for it too, just in case.
You're outside the woods that you know, away from the druids you live with. You hear the howls of some of the wolves that the druids tell you about. There's, of course, Blackie, Brown, Longfang, Runnerpaw. All four of them join into a nice chorus. You think maybe they're howling for you, like, just kind of a comfortable life in the forest, a real circle of life thing. You look around your campfire, and a goat just walks up, headbutts you gently, just to say, hey, I know
I'll share
you.
some food.
Oh yeah, it just gone instantly, sloppily. The goat moves towards the cloth of the egg and just starts eating the cloth. Like it's trying to pull the cloth off, but it doesn't understand how knots work.
Hey, leave that. I'm going to try and shoo it away.
It's trying to headbutt you for real now. So it's fighting with you. This is weird. You don't normally fight with animals.
Okay.
Make an animal handling check.
No worries. Is it one of those goats that if you scare it, just its legs paralyzed and it falls over?
No. No, it's not one of those kinds.
Ooh.
Natural 20. You back the goat away for sure. Like, we get a clear indication that you know how to handle a goat. You get your arms around it, you calm the beast, it backs away. It leaves, but not without a little baleful cry as it turns to look back at the covered egg.
I'll check the egg to make sure no harm has been done by the goats.
Are you gonna pull the cloth off?
Yeah, I'll have a look just to make sure it's no damage.
The egg separates in process into 4 equal parts. There's nothing inside.
Oh. Okay. I was a little bit disappointed and sort of start freeing my cloth from what's left of the egg then.
Something licks your side of your face from your shoulder. And you're looking, you think there might be a gecko climbing on you or something like that. They're kind of rare out here.
I'll do that, sort of stand up and try to find whatever it is that's crawling on me, which always seems to be going the other way, which I'm looking, I'm guessing.
You finally pull a little struggling reptilian creature, not a gecko, not a salamander, scaled, blue. It has little tiny, maybe even vestigial wings that is trying to flap, but they're the size of a fraction of a thumbnail.
Okay, I mean, I'll move it to my palm, so I'm not like holding it by like a wing or a tail or whatever.
It flattens its stomach against you. It puts its arms and legs way out wide, but it turns its head up towards you and hisses at you. And then it says,
Hello? What have we got here?
It scampers up your arm, up to your face, and starts licking it.
Stop. Oh, aren't you cute? Did you come from the egg?
It bites your cheek.
Okay.
It begins licking the blood from the bite immediately.
Oh, are you hungry? I'll try and I'll find something in my pack that I might have, maybe some dried meat or something that might be appetizing to it.
This thing is very small, but it eats several times its body weight immediately. in the process. At some point, it just electrocutes you. You're like,
Clear.
Ow. It's a neat trick. Well, I guess not knowing where your mother is, you should probably stick with me for now. I'm Keith Tricks. I guess what I call you. Well, maybe Sparky.
it immediately shocks you when you say that.
Yeah. Okay, either you like that or you don't like that. But I guess it's going to stick for now.
It yawns, and then Unschatterbaren. Yes, recordes.
I make some, meaningless babble back at it like I'm talking to a baby. Who's a cutie, buddy? Cutie.
Yep, me and Amore for sure.
That's Amore.
All of you wake up to an area much sooner than the others, since you only need to transfer 4 hours.
I use my remaining spell slots to cast Goodberry before I go to sleep that night, by the way.
Sheesh, look at this min-maxer. Sure, I'll allow it.
Alright. No, long rest. So on your sheet, if you go to under your hit dice, it will say L rest, short S rest. If you do L rest, it will reset all your spell slots and daily abilities.
Wait, what am I looking at?
Key on your sheet under hit dice, you should see S rest and L rest.
Dice.
Tanira,
Yes.
I'm gonna wait until you hit that long rest so I don't interrupt you.
I still don't know where it is.
James?
Front page of your character sheet. You should see at the top under Tanira, Tiefling, hit points, right of that should be hit dice. We'll say 2 of 2, and you've got S rest and L rest. There's 2 buttons beneath the 2 of 2 on your character sheet.
Where's
So like
the
under
character sheet?
actor's character sheet,
Oh,
in the upper
actors. Got it.
like the full sheet.
The full sheet. And then I go where?
On the front page should be where your hit dice are, 2 of 2. You should see S rest and L rest. Or Arthur can just get nap time, the mod. That way you can trigger long rest for everybody.
Tanira, you've eaten some weird stuff before, but you've never had to relieve yourself like you do this morning.
And go into the forest.
Yep. Listen, we're not going to get more graphical than that.
Nope.
I just wanted the recognition that you ate 8 good berries.
Yeah, and drank probably a lot of alcohol.
That's not going to be the problem here.
No.
You ate 8 full days worth of food.
Oh. I didn't know what they were.
I mean, you listen, when you're dying, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You rub the berries on them, you eat them, you do whatever you need to do.
I don't think you'll get fat eating good berries, but yeah, certainly everything the body needs.
Okay, the Matrix. For the rest of you, if you're not into good berries, there's I wouldn't call it thin, but it's certainly not overflowing with meat, wild onion stew here that smells pretty good. Traditional dwarven cooking.
Right. I was going to say I have proficiency with a chef's kit if you want me to make rolls for this.
It sounds like you want to, so please
Yeah,
do.
I want to know how good it is.
He's ready
Yep.
for it.
Yeah.
If it's 10, it's just pretty good average Nuna cooking. Nona? I forget what it is in
Nona?
Italian.
Nona?
Abuela? That's Spanish.
No,
That's
abuela
Spanish.
Spanish. Nonna.
Nona.
Yeah.
La nonna. The grandma. Hey.
Sorry, I'm Irish. My grandmother's dead, so.
Um,
I was going to say I don't know what I need to roll for it. I just took proficiency with
Oh,
cook's utensils.
you should be able to roll proficiency then.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
just-
proficiency.
Yeah, you just roll proficiency. Yep.
Is there a quick button for that?
On your sheet, you should see.
If you have the toolkit equipped, but maybe you need to go to your full sheet and just roll d20 plus whatever your proficiency modifier is.
I don't think it's got a cooking kit is the problem. You need the kit to make the roll.
Oh yeah, you have a toolkit for flutes, but not for You're gonna have to get the kit eventually.
Okay.
So you just roll D20 plus 2.
Yeah. In the upper right hand part of your sheet, it shows proficiency +2.
+2. Okay.
Yep. Let's make it. You've got a. We've solidly established that the 2 tools you actually do have. Ooh, you needed those tools, huh?
Yeah.
You've got a spoon / ladle and a pot.
It was good last night. In the morning, it's not so great.
For the folks at home, that's a 4. So it's even thinner than what I originally said. It's just kind of like warm water with herbs soaked into it and some chopped up onions, and that garlic has not been like sauteed at all. It's just like raw boiled garlic. Whole cloves. I figure you forgot to smash them or something.
Yeah. I just added a lot of salt to mine.
Okay. James, he's suddenly become American. Classic rock soup. Amazing. Tanira, despite all that happened to you last night, when you come back, it's unusual for you to have companions or people that rely on you or a warm meal in the morning. You quickly forget and perhaps are bothered by those around you, but it's better than remembering your past. What you've done. What's been done.
I'm definitely not going to eat. I'll probably just sit around, kind of listen to everybody, wean off my hangover.
So does everyone have everything that they need in order to go stop some bandits?
I suppose.
Yes. I think that it would be a good time. We can go.
All right. Well, Sparky and I are just going to see if we can pick up those Panthers trail. Then we'll be ready to go.
Do we know how many children we're picking up, or are we just figuring there's a couple? Because logistically, this could be a nightmare.
So, just to be clear, these are young adults.
Oh.
They're the children of the village, but
Gotcha.
It's not like they're 10 years old. They wanted people who could do work.
Gotcha.
There are approximately 30 people who are missing.
Ooh.
No small task.
No, but we sneak in and free them. That's a small army.
You really think they can fight after being held hostage and worked?
They don't have to. They just have to look like
Sounds like
a little bit of
somebody's-
theater, if you will, to intimidate.
Well, this
Nothing wrong with
theater
that.
could end in death, but you know,
Ah,
if you're all for it, let's do it.
yes. Oh, yes. Yes. All right, kid threats, lead the way.
All right. I'll try and pick up a trail.
Yep. Survival check, please.
No worries. Because we've got the general direction, is there any chance I can take that with advantage? I'm bargaining here.
I'll allow it. I'm a gracious and generous game master. Oof, boy, you needed it. and even in reaching for it, you still failed.
I mean, I guess if I can't find the trail, we'll just take the directions.
Well, so you begin the trail, and all right, I know how to tell this story. You start heading east. You keep losing the trail over and over again until Tanira takes over in maybe a fit of
It's right
desperation.
there. What are you looking at? We've gone by this like 3 times.
This is the trail back to the village.
The rolling grasslands of the southeastern empire give way to the wastes. Broken badlands of orange sand, shale, open rock pits, strange formations. Some say this is a cursed land. Others say that it is the land of an ancient empire. There are many secrets in the wastes, and here in the Western Wastes, you seek out and perhaps might find the Bandit King of the Western Wastes. However, given that you initially failed your survival check, you do not make it there this day. As you are making your way there, however, before the light of the sun slips beneath the mountains to the west, you do notice that there is a series of airships that appear to be moving, 13 of them in formation heading east, far to the north of you. I think Godric and Guineria, you would both know that these are held aloft by what the humans call floatstone, but what the dwarves called orichalcum. When magicule is forced through it, it causes the stones to begin to rise, and anything attached to it can use that buoyancy to float through the sky.
So they don't have like envelopes or air bladders or anything. They're actually just like, they're literally like flying boats, are they?
Yep.
It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
It's quite wonderful.
I hope the bandits don't have flying boats.
Well, if they do, we'll steal one and crash it into another one. It'll make a wonderful story to tell anyone who will listen, I suppose.
I mean, my rope's only 50 feet though, so I can't get up there. But no, we'll burn that bridge when we come to it.
I like the
Tanira,
crashing boat idea.
when he says we'll burn that bridge when we come to it, you feel, whoa, come on guys, I'm about to have a serious moment. You feel a twinge of pain, and you have a brief flash as you remember the last bridge out of your village burning behind you.
Right, burning.
Yep, sorry. He wanted a really deeply dramatic backstory, so we're doing that part too. Let's talk about watches for the night. It is a vast, in some ways open in every direction, and in other ways there are plenty of small places to hide out here if you want to move flat because of the broken ground.
I have very
odd.
I have very good perception, but no dark vision.
You are totally well. I mean, even people who have dark vision still not great out here. 60 feet is not that far.
I'll take first watch, I suppose.
What I probably will do is I will set a trap along the most obvious or most direct path to the camp wherever we set up. Like we'll try and find a hollow or something or a brook we can go into, and I'll set my trap just in case.
You have a trap kit?
I do have a trap kit.
What? He got me! He boomed me! All right. Go ahead and roll proficiency. Let's see what you got.
I think there is it's not a kit, it's just a hunting trap. So I think it uses survival.
Yeah, let's roll
than
survival then. I'm just looking
Alright.
for a 10. Just some basic stuff.
Since I'm so good at survival, it turns out.
Yeah, pretty
That's
good.
better. Okay.
You've got a pretty difficult to notice trap visually. Like something that could smell or some like blind sight is going to be able to avoid it, but for 99% of creatures, they will walk into this trap.
Yeah, I'm not baiting it. Like I'm not trying to catch creatures. It's more a case if someone tries to go this way, it'll make a noise.
He's casting the alarm spell the old style way. Tanira, your first watch. Who's number 2?
I can go number 2.
3?
I'll get up early in the morning. I'll do the last one since it'll be going into dawn.
Can I get everyone to roll a survival check real quick? You're doing one of them group checks. It's Heroes of the Wilds. Tanira with a 22. Godric with a 19. Kithrix with Kithrix, come on. Guineria with a 3. Fortunately, half of the party has succeeded. For all of you, it's a night of disturbed sleep. Nothing in particular stands out here, but the land feels wrong. And this is it doesn't even match the grassy outcropping you slept on last night. This is hard rock that bedroll does not make any better. There is life in the Badlands. It doesn't look like cats and dogs, of course. It looks like coyotes and snakes. Godric, you catch a pair of panther eyes looking at you, but it's at the edge of your vision, and it leaves almost immediately once you get a sight on it.
Once
away.
Once I see it, if it recognizes that I can see that it sees that I see it,
Yeah.
I do like that motion to it.
It leaves immediately. Slinks back into the darkness. There is an intelligence there that is not present in a normal panther. Again, not that you've met many panthers as a mountain dwarf, but
Not socially.
you're pretty sure panthers don't act like this. We'll figure out what happens in the morning when we return for the third. Hope you've been enjoying yourselves, guys.
Yeah.
Cass, welcome to each other's backstories. Welcome to the horror that will be Tanira. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Enjoy those ads.